Can you all hear me? Is my network bad?
Yes, I'm hear you.
Alright, thank you. Thank you so much. And how many of us have been able to install the Git? I need reactions or mute and talk so that we know where to start from. No one has been able to install the Git. Is it that you cannot hear me or is that you cannot do it? I really need a reaction for us to know what we are doing today. Or we can just go straight to the class if you feel you don't need it. Have you installed it? I don't know what the thumbs up are for. I do agree with me. I need to know. Have you installed it? You've not been able to install it. I need all that. Okay, who else have installed it? Nobody. So is it me? You can't hear me? I don't know. I really love response in today's class. I think just two people have installed, right? I saw plenty questions on the community, and it's why we are trying to bring this up. But if we feel we don't need it, I don't know. I don't like this response at all, at all, at all. But let's just say, all right. So let's just use. I'm going to use W3 school so that you guys can know where to go back to look at it for. I'll just use it to do a small overview on what Git and GitHub is all about. So understand the essence of why we are asking you to know how to do this. For now, I will just share this. Share. All right. So we have what is Git actually? They said Git is a version control. I remember in the last class I made mention of this that Git is actually a version control that we just use to make connections um, to the cloud. It helps us keep track of the code and changes. Yeah, I remember somebody asked this question. What was the point of using Git that we could have just gone to our GitHub direct and upload it? One thing is, while working, while building, you will always make corrections. You will always make corrections. But what if in the process of making correction it has affected one thing and you need to go back? How many Control Z do you want to do that? So what we use is we use Git, right? We always make sure to use Git to keep track of every changes we have done. So by the time we need another change from a previous time, maybe like 2 days ago, you can keep track of it. You can go back, okay, I need this code of this 2 days ago, and that way you haven't lost whatever you have done. So that's the whole essence of Git and GitHub. So majorly you can see from the example here they did Git version and the help us do it. So say for new user using the terminal can be very complicated. I know that is why most of us are having issues. But it is needed to be simple. One thing you should know that when you see something like a user, this is that part you don't touch. Majorly what you are interested what happens is this is what you type in and that is what actually runs. Then you get to see an output in this way. That means this way like this. This one just comes in under without this. So that's virtually it. Now, so we say Git and remote repository. Like every question that you guys were asking, Git and GitHub are different things. They are two different things. This tutorial you understand what Git is and how it is used on a remote repository platform like GitHub. You can choose change which browser to focus by clicking on the menu on the right. Ah, now, what is Git? Is a Git is a popular version control system. It was created by Linus Torvalds in 2005 and has been maintained by Genius since then. It is used for what, like we said, tracking code changes, tracking who made the change, and collaboration. You know, there are some projects that it's not just one person that will do it. It will be you and somebody, and all of you will have to have the same place that you put your code. You need to know who did this, who did that. So you use it to track what change, who made the change, and the whole collaboration itself. So what does Git does for you? It manages project with repositories. It clones a project to work on a local copy.
Lucas, I'm not see it very well.
I guess it's your network. Who else cannot see it very well?
Me, I'm not see it very well.
Who else cannot see very well?
Me, review.
Yeah, I'm asking who else. I know Rabbi is you that can't see. Who else cannot see?
I think Rabi, you can widen your screen a bit. You can enlarge it
I'm
so
Alright.
not
that you
see
can.
the screen very well.
And that's what I'm saying. You can bolden your screen so that you can see the right tops.
Can zoom in
Okay.
actually. Zoom in to see the right talk. Or by the end of the class, I will send this link to the community so that you can go through it back and read through it. I'm just trying to use it for you to understand the whole essence of Git and GitHub because so many questions have been dropped and I'm trying to make sure I try to address some of those questions. Is that good, Rabi? Rabi, are we good? Like you get the link later. Is that okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
All right, thank you. So now we say it controls and track changes with staging and committing. Now there's one thing we call staging and committing. You understand all this better later on. But one thing you should know that staging is each stage at which you keep your code and commit. Commit is like the message you use to stage it. Like you write a code this from now to now, and this is what you did about the code. That message you write there is the commit. Then the stage is when you stage it and keep for now, like okay, this stage is different from this next stage I want to work on. That is what he used to keep track. Then branch and merge to allow for work on different part and version of the project. Excuse me, like we were said on the group chat that this might look overwhelming at first, but you need to understand that it's a very crucial and very important part of programming because you need to know this. No matter what program you are doing, you always need to use Git at one point or the other because it's our safe way of keeping our record. Like record. You know, every business you need to have a record of what you do and how to protect your things. You can always revert back to it. It is what Git help us to do. Keep help us to keep record of things that we're doing and how to get it time by time like that. Now, pull, which is the latest version of the project to a local machine. That means so again somebody is has done an update and you don't have that update. You use pull to call it from the cloud down to your own machine. And push is you trying to send whatever you have from your system down back to the cloud. Now working with Git, the reason why I'm going straight to what Git is I assume people have installed this. Really assume people have installed this. So working with Git, initializing Git on a folder make it a repository. Git now creates an hidden folder to keep track of changes in that folder. When a file is changed, added or deleted, it is considered modified. You select the modified files you want to stage. The stage files are commented, which prompts Git to store a permanent snapshot of those files. Git allows you to see the full history of every commit you make, like from the day one to the last day you stop committing. it will make you see everything full history. You can see that's why you can always go back to another day where you have done something and pick it from there. You can revert back, like I've been saying, revert back to any previous commit you have done. Git does not store a separate copy of every file, every commit, but keep track of change made in each commit. They just keep the track of. It's not all the file. You do not okay, this file create separately. No, it might just be this same file. Okay, at this time, this was what you change. At this particular time, this was what you change in this particular file. That's how it does. Now, why do we say use Git? He said over 70% of developers use Git. Developer can work together from anywhere in the world. Developer can see the full history of project. Developer can revert to the earlier. Now, GitHub. Git is not the same as GitHub. GitHub make tools that use Git. GitHub is the largest host of source code in the world and has been owned by Microsoft since 2018. We focus on using Git and GitHub. So the major thing is GitHub is like it's just a cloud where it makes use of tools that Git. It makes use of Git. So there is other place you can store online. Maybe that's what I've been causing people problem. We have GitHub, we have Bitbucket, we have GitLab. But most times, just the same way we say 70% of people use Git, we have like over 70% of people that use GitHub. So it has that way it has already most people already have all this down like that. So I'll show you the but can you guys still hear me? I think MTN network is messed up.
Yes, we can hear you.
Alright, thank you. Sorry, I think we will just drop this. But majorly, right, this is what Git and GitHub entails. So I just want to show you a simple something on Git and how to use Git and GitHub. Why we necessarily need to Git and GitHub. So let me share our blog for you. Can you all see my screen now?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Charles. So let's say this is the file that we've been working on, and I really want to do that. Now, as if when you install it, I've noticed that each operating system has a way you can install them separately. So for Windows user, you have Git Bash. For everybody has the way you can install them. So when you install it, you can also use it inside your VS Code. So I'll be using it inside my VS Code so that everybody can actually see how to work with this. So now I want to make any change to this file. Let's say, okay, I want to update this and make it mm, okay, L1 step 4. Now we set two things in the other side that when there is a change done to a file that is being tracked, it will tell you modify. Can everybody see this M here? This file is already initiated already and sending it to GitHub. It's already on GitHub, it's already on our platform there. That was what was shared last week. Now the fact that I am making just one line of change, it has seen that and it's telling me that my index.html is modified. If I create a new file here and call it testing.html, you see, it will give me U, which is on track. That means he is not tracking this file in particular. He needs to know that one thing that he's trying to tell you, I'm not tracking this file yet. And then M is telling you, this file has been modified already. So all this is the essence of Git. It keeps track for us, tell us one thing or the other. So now, how do we then I think I want to have reload. I think I have Falytom. Exactly. So this is the Falytom GitHub now. if we open this, you will see that so far they had all record of what we had there. And this was where I made changes. I made changes by adding step 4 to it, right? And I added another file. So we really have this. So how do we add this, or how do we tell this particular page that I have made a new update and I'm sending that new update to you? So that is the good use of it. That's how we said GitHub actually make use of tools like Git to run. So coming back here, how do we do that? First thing first is to do anything with Git, you always must specify the keyword Git. So now I want to add this thing to it, and that's what I do. So you do Git add. Now since I am not adding just one file, we use full stop period to tell it that I'm not adding just one file, I'm adding everything inside this place. And when I click enter, which is, you see now this testing now has changed from on track to it has been added. That means it has already had that. That means it's tracking that already. Now we wanted to know that at this stage I'm doing this something at this particular stage, and there it is a message. What is it I'm doing? So I will tell it again, like we said. We do git commit this time around, but committing this stage to it. You do have a message. That means you're telling it the message. This is the commit message. It is very important because this is what you are going to use to track each changes that you do. And I will tell this one is testing with Git and GitHub. You close that. But when you enter, that's all. You see, it just tell you, see, it comes back with the message of it telling her testing with Git and GitHub. Oh, I made a mistake. And then it tells you how many files that has been changed. It has 2 file change. One, we only insert something, that means we identify, we modify it. And the other was we created it, which is this one, and that's all. This way, it already keep track of this. If I make any adjustment or any changes here now again, when I do this and this, by default, you see, testing is already telling me again that what I have made a modification to the file testing. And that's it. That's all about it. That's it. So we want to make sure it has this again. We start all over this process. Let me increase this one. We start all over this process again and do git add again, telling it to add it again. And we do the same error message and commit message. We say we're testing with GitHub and we modify testing.html. And that way we enter. You see, he already knows. And by default, what did he tell us? He tell us that we only changed one file this time around because he's keeping track. And what did we do? We only inserted 11 things inside it. Before it was empty, and now we inserted 11 things inside it. That's all. Now, how do we send this to GitHub? And that was what we were reading initially. By reading git pull and git push. Push is by sending whatever you have on your local system here down to the cloud. And it's just all. You just have to do git push origin. And there's one tricky thing about it. You have to see here. Your VS Code have helped you by telling you what branch it is. So let me go back to GitHub. GitHub has something that we call branches. Can you see it? Branches. And our branches is on main. And it's on main that is where I'm putting. So you can create more branches and have it. But so far we're using main. So I'm telling it that I am pushing it to origin of main. That is where I want it to go to. And the moment we click this, now this is where you do the use of data. Like someone was asking that question. Okay, because the remote contains work that you do not have locally. Okay, so this was what we always say that you need to always pull and not always pull. The essence of pull and push. So far now it's telling me locally that I have hide. Okay, I have something in my repo up there that I don't have here. So let me just do git pull. When you do git pull, yeah, you can't remember I need to do that to consult them. Okay, So we have different branches. Can you see the essence of it? Now, first it told me I have something up there in the cloud that is different from what I have there. Now I use Gitput to get whatever I have in the cloud that is different from what I have here, and now it has brought that in. And it's telling me that okay, I have different branches and I need to specify how to reconcile them. Now it gives me my option. I want you to merge it or I want you to return it. But I want it to merge it. So all I just need to do is write the same thing it gave me. Git config dot paste and false. And that's all. And then if I do this now, the issue. Okay. But do we get the idea of Git? Majority is because I'm tracking something that I don't have there and I'm trying to push something I have here. So it's trying not to make sure it has confusion between here and there. And sometimes we have this, if you have slow network, you might have problem when you are pushing or calling it back because of network at times. But do we all understand the whole concept about Git and GitHub now? Why we need Git and why we use Git and why we use GitHub? Do we understand that? I need reaction, I need response.
They're following gradually.
Sorry. But at least you understand the concept of it, even if you don't know how to use it yet. Do you understand the
Yeah, yeah.
concept around it?
Yes, yes.
Alright. So this is majorly what GitHub and this is the essence of it. I feel this shall answer most of your questions that you have, right? Or do we have more questions on Git and GitHub? Do anyone have questions on Git and GitHub? Alright, Obed.
Yes, sorry, I joined late. I don't know. This GitHub, do you have to download it or as a package into your system before you use it?
Um for GitHub, you are not installing GitHub. You can install it, is your choice. But me as one person, I did not install my GitHub. My GitHub is on my Chrome because you can access the website there. So I just go to my Chrome like you see that I did there, and all I need to do is just to my github.com and my account is there. But they have GitHub desktop that you can install and have on your system there. But the major thing you need to install that is very important that you need to install is the Git. As long as you have installed the Git, you don't necessarily need to install the GitHub. I hope I've answered that question. But you have to have an account
Yes.
with GitHub.
Okay, so when I download the Git, now I have to register so that I access GitHub.
That was what I was explaining in the more earlier. You came in late and that's the problem. Don't worry, we'll send the link back. So GitHub and Git are two different things. GitHub is a version control that runs locally. GitHub is just a cloud setting that is there. GitHub uses Git to work well. If for those that have been in class earlier, we see it. And don't worry, we'll drop the resource. It's for you to read through it. It is way more understandable if all the video we've been dropping is too tedious. This is just for you to read through and it will come in more like that. I promise. So one thing is they are two different things, but they use one hand in hand. Now, why is that? Because over 70% of developers that we have uses the same thing to work. So by default, it is there. We use Git to keep track, and that was what we are having here. The message we are having here. I was keeping track of. It's keeping track of what I have here and what I have pushed there. So it has two different things differently. I have some something that is up and what is here, and it's just keeping track of each time I made a change and all that. That's specifically what it does for you. Now GitHub, like I said, is just place that keeps your codes for you, safety. So in case you even lose your system or anything, you can always access your GitHub and get the information there. As simple as that. So they are two
Okay.
different things. That's why I say the majorly what you need is your Git on your system, because that is where you run locally. Your GitHub can be on your Chrome. You can just open it on your Chrome. It is linked. It will know. By that's also why we give you those videos that you should follow it. It will tell you how to link the two together. So your Git automatically know that when you are ready to push something to the cloud, it pushes it straight to your GitHub. And that's all.
Okay. When I register, is there a premium service that you pay, or is just totally free?
It's free. Everything we
O-
drop is free. GitHub is free. Git is free. You just need to download it, and that's all.
Okay. Thank you, ma.
All right.
Okay, ma. I have a
Can go
question.
ahead.
Uh, So my question is, can I take GitHub like is online or editor?
It's no. Don't take GitHub as an online editor. Take it as a storage. It's not that you
Okay, as a
cannot
storage,
edit
as
whatever
cloud
you
storage.
do a class storage. Yeah. It's not as if you cannot edit whatever you do on your class storage. It's the same way you can go and edit your email on your Google, like you can do so many things on your Google, but it's actually a storage for your stuff, right?
Okay,
Yeah, so
okay,
take GitHub as that to take it as a storage that majorly you are storing your
okay,
things there, but you can use it for other
okay.
things too.
So
Yeah.
and I will use GitHub to host my website.
Exactly, you can use GitHub to host your website too, as long as you send whatever codes that you have for that website on that GitHub. You can use it to host too.
Okay. So thank you,
Yeah.
ma.
All right. Sorry, I don't want to murder name. You can bring down your and a card, and then okay, yeah, please, I don't want to murder name. Please, can you go ahead?
Oh, okay. So sorry, I want to like I'm trying to understand everything, but
Okay.
okay. So can I ask so when I write my code on VS Code, and then like
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to understand the whole process. If I want to,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I'm meant to create a repository link. I guess that like on GitHub
Um,
to.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so now how do I, because I've gone to Git, I've configured, like I put my username and my email, but I don't fully understand what's next. How do I link? You talked about linking Git and GitHub. Am I meant to
GitHub.
do
All
something
right.
else?
Yeah, to link your Git and GitHub is to process. Actually, I think this should be open by now. Let's see. Where is that guy? Yes. Okay, this is it. This is one. That was why. This is majorly why we sent those video. Why is that? See, after you configure by then your username and email and create something inside and initialize this. Where is this one? Getting started with this. Is it this? Okay. Have you created your GitHub account? Sorry, I'm trying to look for where that
Yes,
one is. If you have your GitHub account, there is
yes,
a
I
way
do.
we link the two together, but there's two ways to it. The
Mm-hmm.
security SSH.
Yes,
You might have to sit down and read this because I'm rushing through. But let me just give you a
yes,
brief
no
answer of how
problem.
to do it, right? Um, coming back to this place. No, yeah, coming back to this place. Sorry, MTN is our friend today. So there's two ways you link to it. This let me show you here. Did you see SSH and you see HTTP, right? Now there's this the I've forgotten the command line for this, but you use this HTTP to link your Git to this particular repo, either the HTTP or the SSH. The SSH has other long process to it, and that is why even on this side you can say that they have to put the SSH on a different level. But I think in between here or here, they have shown you how to link it with HTTP first. Do you understand? So I think that's the only
Okay,
step you have left missing. You just need to link um, HTTP with the repository, whatever repository you create, so that anytime on that particular folder that you have created. Anytime you're trying to push online, it knows that it is that repository is sending it to. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes, I
Yeah.
understand. But I want to
So
ask something else. Sorry. Oh, okay.
okay. All right.
Uh, okay. Sorry, as I'm on VS Code, there's okay,
Okay.
I checked there's the part about source control, and there's a place to either initialize repository or publish to GitHub. I don't know if I'm meant to, if that's what I'm meant to go to, like that's what would
No,
take my code to. Oh.
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no, no.
Ah,
Don't do
wow.
that. Don't go through
Okay.
that stress. It's not that you are not writing that part, but first, if you don't even understand how to use it from Git, you might get all confused inside VS Code. Do you understand?
Okay, okay.
So,
I understand.
not that any of that
Yes.
what you're asking is wrong in the first place, but no, I don't want you to go through will make you all way confused and where you are already. So probably when we send this link with the video, I don't know. I was watching one of the video and I feel it was way explanatory enough, but I don't know why people are not really getting it. So, but with this,
Oh.
we can say that for each page, it is as short as possible, right? So I think you should be able
Mm.
to follow through with it and be able to know where you need to just link it to with each other. Is that good? I just need you
Yes,
to
yes.
is what you meant that what we meant for you is just linking your GitHub to your Git to your GitHub for you to know that this is your own personal account. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes, I understand. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any other question? All right, so let me see if you can see those some small explanatory about what Git and GitHub does for us. Okay, I see GitHub after installing. This was why I asked if most people have installed. After installing, you check through the version. So now we need to configure about it. Like she said, to configure, you have to make your username because it needs the username to know that this person is different from this person. And you see this email, are we really like excuse me, for you to make sure that this email is the same email you use to open your GitHub so that it will just link easily that way. So after you configure this is how you use it to create this thing. So that from your Git, you can do so many things. So I can come here, let me cancel this and do MDKIR, this MPID. Yeah, I was right. MPDI. I want to make a new directory and I want to make it CSS class, and that way I've created a folder, and that's what this make directory is. You're telling it to just create a folder, and then I want to enter this folder right from this same place. All I need to do is just write cd and this folder name, which is CSS class. So I'm using CSS class. That's what I could come up with. That way, that is it. Then that's just you making a new this thing. So now to initialize Git to a project that you have not. So far I have in this one. Right, I have done that. Let's do something. Let's do cd out. Cd out. And say let me create Git mkdir. Let's say Git class. I want to cd into Git class. And I want to open VS Code like this. Alright, inside Git class. Did you guys see what just happened, Abby? I have been able to use the terminal from here, which is using Git from here to create a repository, a new folder. I cd into that folder and I opened it in VS Code, and this guy popped up for me. So in that case, I can close this one so that I will not get all confused. So this one can go all big. And the next thing we want to now, this folder now does not have Git. I want to initialize Git on it. I want it to keep track of something for me. The first thing we do is Git what? they said we should do git init, and what we have to do is git init and enter. I see that means we have initialized git. So anything I do inside git is definitely going to start making track of it. And that's all. And then voila, you make the first repository. That way it is by default, that way it will start making any tracks for you. And that's it. Now we want to create new files inside here. So just created your first local, but it is empty like we have. Well, you want to learn how to create a new file using text editor, you can visit so let's add some file, create a new file, use your favorite text, and then save it and move it to the folder you just created. So let's just do something like this. So let's do this. Let me copy this. Open, copy. Let's come to Git class and create a file called index.html. Like you can see, Git has started making track and it's telling you this is on track. It does not have an idea of that before. So when we paste this inside, we save it, and that's it. So when we come into UI and do ls like they said, now when we save it, so we come back to this. We want to see all the list of the file in this place that we're working in, and that's why we do ls. We're checking the list of it. So when you do ls, by default it tell you index because the only thing we have is index. So the next thing you have is available will list the file and we can see that index is there. Then we can check its status and see if it is a part of our repo. That way we are trying to check what is the status of things on our Git, and we do Git status. And when we do Git status, it say on branch main no commit. We have not done any commit like I showed us in the other time. And we have on track file, one file that it has not been included. So we need to add that file to it for it to start tracking. See, it has showed it. For it to start tracking this one file, we have it here, but he has not yet started tracking that. And that's it. So we say in files in your Git folder can be in two states: tracked, files that Git knows about and are added to the repository, and on track, files that are in your working directory but not added to the repository. So do you understand? This is why I said this document is as straightforward as possible, just to make it as simple as possible for you to understand. But this is just the thing we use Git for. As simple. This is just it. Keep track of everything that you are doing. Simple. Then the next is the Git staging environment. Like I told you, you need to stage all what you did, all what you make sure is keeping track. It is staging them differently. That's so one of the core function of Git is the concept of staging environment and the commit. As you are working, you may be adding, editing, and removing file, but whenever you hit a milestone or finish a part of the work, you should add the file to the staging environment. Now, a stage files are files that are ready to be committed to the repository you are working on. You will learn more about commit shortly. For now, you are done working with index.html, so we can add it to the staging environment. And how do we add that? I told us the other time, git add. Now we only have index here, and that's the only thing we want to add. We can just do git add, and we do index.html. By default, it has add that. Can you see it has changed from on track to added? So, and what do we have here? The file is now stage, and we can check the status by what? Doing git commit again, and git status. And when we do git status, see, there's not yet commit, but it is already tracking a new file. Changes to be committed. It's unlike when we did it here, when it was telling us an on track file, but now it's telling us that this particular file is ready to be committed and is ready to go to the next stage. Now, Git add more than one file, like I told you the other time. You can add more than one file, which is there. We have, let's just take it step by step with them. Let's do the readme file. And do the readme file. This, let's just copy this too and make it a style sheet. I know this might look confusing what this style sheet is. Doesn't matter yet. We do it later. Style CSS. You get to that point, but I just want you to understand what we use Git for and how we use Git. Come inside index. I remember telling you we use this link now to link some styles outside of CSS. Yes. External files. Remember, we use link to do external files, and that way I've linked our style to it. So after adding that, you can now add all this file to the current directory by doing git add dash dash or you can do it git add dash a, or you can just do the git add. I did it initially git add and a full stop. That way everything will be tracked, and that's it. So if you go for git status again, you will see that you have those three files tracked. Simple and short. Now commit. Now since we have finished our work, we are ready to stage to commit. Move from stage to commit for our repo. Adding commit keep track of our progress and changes as we work. Git consider each commit change point or save point. It is a point in the project you can go back to if you find a bug. Like I said, we can use it to go back to what we have initially. It is this commit we use to keep all of this. So our stage is by adding it to a stage. Our commit is by the save point where it has to save it. So when we commit, we should always include a message, like I have said. By adding clear message to each commit, it is easy for yourself and others to see what has changed and when you change it. So all you just need to do is write git commit dash m first release of hello world. Let's just do it here. So we first do git commit dash m means the message. You open the code of it and we just do testing git repo, and we do this, and when you click enter, that's tell us that we created 3 different files and each of those 5 has 24 insertion. And can you see now it has cleared, no more a. By default it has already saved this point by this commit. And that's it. Now the commit command perform a commit and the dash m message add a message. The staging environment has been committed to our repo with this message. So our own message is what? Testing git repo. Now commit without stage. Sometimes when you make small changes using the stage environment seem like a waste of time. It is possible to commit change directly skipping the staging environment. The A option will automatically stage every changes already track file. So when you do this, let's make small update to the now and check the state of variable. This time we will use the short option to see the changes in a more compact way. So all we have to do is add this new line to the file in our index.html. Okay, and we want to see by default you should see m here modify, and now it wants us to check what the git status, but we're adding another keyword here for it to bring it short. This status and just short. So you only tell us the file we need to modify, which is index.html, and that's all. And that's all we get there. So now show status flag are what? Question marks are for on track. A is for file added, M is for modified, and D is for deleted. We see the file we expect is modified, so let's commit it directly. So all you have to do is to add dash A, so that you can skip the staging environment and move directly to the committing. So you won't need to go back to do git add and all that. All you just need to do now is do git commit dash A, then dash M, and the message will be modify index.html, right? And then you close it and hit enter, and by default it has modified, it has commit and async stage. The one file that we touch with is just index, and the what did we do? We only added one thing inside and a new line. That's all. That way. But know that it is not good to skip. It is not a good thing. What if you have edited more than one line? So you need to always go through these staging processes. Now, commit logs. To view the history of commits for a repository, you can use commit log. That way you get to know what you've done in each time. So by default, if we do git log right now, we should see two different. Yep, by me. This is me and my. And when did I do this? I did it Wednesday, November 20th, and we did it at 1900 of 53 minutes. That was 7:53, 2024. And we first did index modify. And we did another one, which was the first one, which did testing git repo, the same today, but at 7:50. Do you understand? So you see this way, it has keep track of things for us, and this is the commit here. This particular way for it, this is his own way of changing it, giving it a special ID. But this is the message we have given it, so you will know that this modifier is this, and this testing is this. Is that good? And that is usually with Git. So I believe with so far what I have done, it has given you an idea why we were shouting, we are saying do Git and GitHub, right? Have it? Alright, so with what we've done so far, I want to know if anybody has a question or not. Do anyone have a question about the same Git, or we fully understood how it's going? I want to understand. Do we understand? Should we continue, or you have a question?
Is it possible for you to create more than one repo in your GitHub?
In your GitHub, yes, it's very possible. This is my GitHub. In GitHub, that's why we say it's a storage. You can have so many things. In your Google, do you have just one email? You have more than one email. On your contacts, you have more than one contact. It's just a storage. Empty and load, please. Okay, I just want to show you a real example of your question actually. A wonderful network decided to grace us with his face. Can you see the number of my repository here?
Yeah, I can see it.
And what do I have here?
I can see 6 here.
60, actually. I'm
6
having
repos.
60
60. Oh.
repository. Yeah.
Oh.
So you can have way more than one repository. Way more than. There are people that have gone way further than that. So that's it. It doesn't matter. It's just that each of these repo has their own folder to them. And by default, it knows that this one is different from this one. It knows that this one is different from this one. That is the essence of Git. So it tracks each of those folder differently. And that's why we started by initializing it. I see it. We initialize it. So by default, the Git here is different from the Git track for another folder. It's not the same thing with the other page that we're coming from. It's different. Do you understand? Any other question? Or we can go ahead.
So repository means file.
You said?
I say repository means file or folder.
Registry is what?
I say the word repository means file or folder.
A repository is like a folder, but not a folder at the same time. But it's like a folder actually because those repositories is a folder. Let me use a folder actually. So when you open it, whatever you have inside a folder, inside a folder you can have 10 or plenty things inside. So repository is a folder of that particular project that you're working on. Majorly. Do you understand?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other question again? Any question?
I think we can continue.
I don't think we can continue. This is 1 minute to Yusuf.
So which assignment is that?
Okay, thank you. We can leave.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Have
sir.
a nice day.